you guys doing? Good. Good. I have no idea. When I came by here and I told everybody you're going to get a raise, I didn't know y'all were just 3 people. So now we have to call Mr. Farley and say, hey, sure, give me a raise. All right? Well, look, thank you guys for coming out, man. You guys tell me, how's it going? Right. We're launching right now. We're just in the launch mode, yes?
Yes, sir.
Actually, we're in the pre-launch period.
Pre-launch?
We haven't had the official pre-launch event. So
where's the launch event?
It's going to be, for sure, in the second Q, but we don't know the exact date.
Okay.
So
these guys are signed up, they're on board now.
Yeah. Exactly. And all the guys that you hear.
Okay. Why now?
¿Por qué ahora?
Because we see the opportunity we have.
When you see a good business, a good opportunity, you just go for it. That's why.
Have you ever met Bill Farley?
I have, yes.
Has everybody in here met him?
No, not everybody.
Why not?
Because not all of them had the chance to travel to the U.S. to meet people.
Well, he had the opportunity to come here.
Well, we're trying to drag him here.
He has not come here yet?
Not yet.
I beat Bill Farley here.
Yes.
Well, then I'll be here the 3 in Columbia. Man. So everybody needs to work for somebody else. Everybody had a job. You work for another company. You work for someone else. And so we've done that, right? And I mean, maybe some of us learned that that's not for us. Maybe that's okay for somebody else. It's okay. But we've also learned, unfortunately, that the world has changed forever. Okay, this is just coming from an American mindset. I don't know how things work here in Colombia, but the old American model of you go to school, you get a job, you go to work, and I mean the old model was you would work for this company and one day you retire and they take care of you. That's over, man. That is so over. It'll never happen again. And this time, this environment right now, this is a great time to be saying, you know what? I want to control my own life. Right? Some people will say, okay, starting your own business. That's risky. It's also risky to work for someone else. Right? Because someone else could come down the hall to you and say any day tomorrow, well, you know what? Sorry, but don't come back tomorrow.
You're fired.
You're fired. We're moving the plant to another country. We've sold the business. Right? That's risky. But when you're running your own company and building your own business, at least you know where the risk is. Right? You know what's on the line. And if it's all on the line, you want to be the guy that's driving. I say guy generically, I mean women, men. You want to be the guy that's driving. You want to be the guy that's in control. And be responsible. And it's not going to be easy. So what? It's harder to wake up in the morning and wonder what's going to happen. What's management thinking? What's the marketplace going to do? The uncertainty of it. But to wake up in the morning and know, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to work. Right? I'm going to work. And here's what I got to do. Here are the things I have to accomplish. And when you're trying to build something, you have to say this, take baby steps count too. Every day. Every day. You take the little baby steps going forward. As long as you're going forward. Every day. And one day you add them up and you look back and you say, whoa, that was nice. All right?
Yes.
But it's an exciting time, and I couldn't think of a more exciting time right now to be building your own business, to be doing something that you control, you're committed to, and there are responsibilities that come with it, yeah. There's risk, yeah. But again, to be in a position where you know, and for everybody, I think, that takes this opportunity right now to say, this is what I want to do the rest of my life.
Reputation precedes you, as well as your mentoring reputation, your reputation for developing people. And we were wondering if you could give us, a piece of advice of how, or which were the key factors that you, or the key strategies that you use to develop your people, so we can develop our people in the business as well.
You know what I came to, as far as developing people goes, I look back at the fact that people invested in me. Some of the best investments I ever made in my life have been in people. Some of the worst investments I ever made in my life have been in people. Right? But I look back at some of the most important people at my company, my brokerage business, for instance. Man, I got these people out of high school. Right? I got them out of high school. Let me rephrase that. I did not get them out of high school. They came to me. And I tried to pay for them to go to college. But they wanted to work. And they didn't want to go to college. They wanted to work. For me personally, I never wanted to go to college. Going to college for me was never something I wanted to do. I grew up in a family of men who had all been in the military. And they had all gone to see the world. So at 18 years of age, I make up my mind, I'm going to see the world. I don't want to go to college. But my mom had this philosophy that the world can be your classroom. And my mom was my first teacher and my mentor. And so as far as developing people, one of the things that I've done is I've had to learn how, when you finally got the right people, leave them alone. When you finally got the right people, leave them alone. Right? And you're going to have to go through a series of people before you get the right people.
The other question we had is that many people reach success, but few maintain the spot of success. Which would you say have been your key factors for success, or the secret of your success that had kept you there, being a successful professional?
Doing something I was truly passionate about. And when you do something that you're truly passionate about, you realize the opportunity is as big as the sky. Okay? And when you realize that means there's always more to do. And the opportunity being as big as the sky means you're but a speck. But the key is to be a purposeful and a directed speck.
Just one last question, and it's just a piece of advice for you. How do you build a dream? How do we build our dreams? You build yours.
I'm still building it.
Oh.
I'm still building it. Again, when it's this big, you will always be building. Okay? We're doing something now. In South Africa. Years ago, I met Nelson Mandela in South Africa. And he stuck out his hand and he said to me, "Welcome home, son." I had never met my father. And for the first time in my life, I'm hearing a man say to me, "Welcome home, son." And it was Nelson Mandela. That changes you. right? And we subsequently, he and I, we have further conversations. And I'm doing some work now with that. Next to raising my children is probably the most important thing I'll ever have a chance to do in my life. And that is, we're raising a private equity fund that's going to invest solely in South Africa. And it was capital that changed the world in South Africa. When pension funds, unions, corporations pulled the money out of South Africa 25 years ago, the apartheid regime could no longer finance it. So they had to free Mandela, end apartheid, and give birth to democracy. But that was capital being used as a tool. The money was pulled out. My job now is to have the money go back. That's a big job.
That's a big job.
That's a big job. And I said it was going to take us 4 years to get this deal done. Excuse me. April of this year will be the 6th year. We'll be right here. 6 years. And you try to do something that's never been done. First time fund for our firm. International space, emerging market in Africa. So that means you start off with an 80-degree incline, then it goes like that. But the commitment to doing something bigger. And doing it alone, no. But I'm the guy that has got to make some things happen. You know, there are people that are helpful, helping, will help, but I'm the guy that's got to connect all the dots. Right? So we're excited. We're excited.
You should have had great project.
No, we'll see.
What do you think are the key aspects to be a great leader, to inspire people?
You know what? When people know you did it. I'm not talking to you about, well, I went to school at Harvard, and this is what they taught us. This is what it says in the book. When people know that you did it. And in a lot of cases, saw you do it. I mean, I'm fortunate now. I've got some people now that have worked with me for 15, 16 years. So they saw me do it. You know, it's not I heard about, I saw a movie, I read a book, I saw this. I think that's the key, man. People got to see it. You know, I mean, that's what works for me. That's been my experience. You know, I mean, maybe other guys can lead other ways. But for me, it's people saw it and see it. I might be early, but there's some guys coming behind me. But the key for me, I want to get my positions on now. Right? I'll take the risk of being first because I know behind me are some people coming with some real big names.
So you're creating the blue ocean.
Okay? Yeah, I want to get my positions on now. So, no, let me ask you a question. Everybody here is born and raised in Colombia.
¿Todos son nacidos y criados en Colombia? Yes.
Okay. Everybody here is committed to growing their own business. Generationally, was everyone here, was your father, your mother, did they have a business or first generation?
First foremost.
Foremost, I have a business.
Sorry?
I have a business.
You have a business, okay. But again, first generation.
Yes, first generation.
Wow. Okay. First generation. You know what? I got to tell you something. I know this is going to be, okay. Some people, even in your family right now, are going to be looking at you saying, man, you need to get a job.
Oh.
Why you can't have no business?
For sure.
Why you want to have a, right?
The ones that are developing the business full time.
Yeah, oh, man, get a job.
They told us about, they said, tell me about this little business you have. Tell me about this
Little business. There are going to be people who say to you, man, get a job, forget it, it won't happen. Everybody ain't going to see it. The only person that has to see it is you. And that's going to be hard. There's going to be a whole lot of times when you look, you know what? Being an entrepreneur, you're not an entrepreneur until you have to make payroll out of your own pocket. Huh? And everybody get paid but you.
Y todo el mundo recibe su salario, excepto tú.
But you get to turn the light on in the morning, you get to open the door, and you get to say, all right, let's go get them. We're open for business. And the guys that just say get a job, okay, that's for them. That's for them. Respect that. But one day, as you continue to grow, and you continue to build, and you become successful, not just with money, you become successful in your life, become successful in creating jobs, so that other people can take care of their families and have bigger dreams. As you become more and more successful, people will look at you and say, how the f*** did you do that? People have asked me many, many times, well, okay, some guy asked me one time, were you lucky? You know what? I don't talk to him anymore. Because he ain't gonna get it. No. All right, he ain't gonna ever get it. I made my luck, just like everybody in this room is in a position to do. And I will admit this. I've said it many, many times. The best things that ever happened to me, the worst things that ever happened to me, I had something to do with it. Okay, but the passion, man. And as far as people just saying the negative things, they're going to say that. Until that day that they begin to see, oh, shit, this boy is serious. Just stay focused, man. And every day, just know, every day, take the baby steps. That's your truth. Dose. Every day, take some baby steps going forward. And when you're truly passionate about it, you can make it happen. There's got to be an exciting time, man. I got to tell you, it's an exciting time. You guys look so young, though. Everybody is so young looking. I mean,
It's true.
Well, maybe that's what it is. Read in Latin America. Or South America.
We're the first. Colombia is to go first.
What's the plan?
In terms of business, of the timing?
You're rolling this thing out. You say we're going to launch second quarter.
Second quarter,
Okay,
that's
what's
what we
the
know.
plan?
That's what we know.
Norman,
He knows
we're
the
looking right at you, man.
Um,
Tell us something. What's the secret? Well, okay, how are we going to roll this thing out?
Yo creo que el momento de iniciar el negocio ahora es muy importante porque, como tú lo decías, aunque viene, es una etapa dura, sabemos que si construimos, si hacemos lo que otras personas no están dispuestos a hacer.
So we're going to start right here with these people right now in this room. Yeah, we're going to create 5,000 business executives, marketing executives, in the next how many months?
Porque cuando la compañía esté registrada en Colombia oficialmente, muchos procesos van a ser muy simples y la gente puede entrar con un dinero muy económico al negocio, y adicionalmente la imagen de la compañía, Bill Farley, Deepak Chopra, tú, Marcy Shimon, va a pegar muy fuerte en el negocio, y por eso consideramos que el negocio se va a mover muy fuerte, muy rápido.
So the additional overhead will be gone. So we're going to have our government approval,
Exactly.
and we'll have access to some product, right? So the 300 that are out there can actually be selling something, providing some benefit to some customers that help create some more customers. Now, is that what you just said to me? Well, that sounds like a plan. How come you just didn't say that? That makes sense, man. That makes sense. But these things, guys, always, it takes a little bit more longer than we thought. You know, I mean, I told you, this thing I'm working on, I said 4 years. 4 years, that's a long time. To say, okay, starting from scratch, it's going to take me 4 years. But guess what? Turn out it's going to be 6. So, it can be done. And you know, let me say this though. I want to say one more thing. It's so, it's been important for me. Is to have so many people, not so many, but a few people say, you know what, man, you should forget it. I mean, you can't do that. One of the most successful guys in my business, in the private equity business, in the United States, I went to see him years ago to talk to him about this idea that I had, misery, my dream, and that I was going to make this happen. And here's how I was going to do it. Here's what I was going to do. Here's what the opportunity was. I mean, just laid it all the way out. And the guy says to me, yeah, forget that. You can't do that. And what he was saying was that he, one of the most successful business people in the United States, in the world, in his industry, with all the king's horses and all the king's men, he couldn't do it. And all I could say, because I respect this gentleman, all I could say was, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. But on the inside, I'm saying to myself, watch this. Okay? One of the most important scenes in the movie was the scene that took place on the basketball court.
Nobody can tell you that you do something.
Don't let anybody
And
know.
don't ever do. That wasn't written like that. Our writer, the guy who wrote the script, had a very dark view of the world, and the script said, when the little boy throws up the ball and says, "I'm going pro," the father is supposed to say, "Forget it. It'll never happen. I couldn't do it. So that means that you can't do it." And that bothered me. And it bothered me, but I waited until we were going to film that scene that day. And I went up to Wiill Smith and I said, "You can't tell that to that little boy. You can't tell him what he can't do, because that's not what my mom told me." And we had a very heated discussion. Myself, Wiill Smith, our director, Gabriel Muccino, and one of the producers who will remain nameless. The producer said we must stay true to the script. The father must keep it real with the child. And we argued about it for 20 minutes, and finally Wiill Smith said, "No, Chris is right, because my mama told me the same thing." And we tore up the script. And what we wrote was, don't ever let somebody else tell you what you can't do. When other people are saying something can't be done, you have to hear them saying that they can't do it. You got a dream, you got to protect it. You want something, go get it. Period. Period. That's it. That's it. So this could be the most exciting time in all of your lives, man. And And I wish you nothing but success. And I'll say this, look. And then who's met Bill Furley? Who's actually met him? All right? And if I had to work for anybody, I work for Bill. I personally will work for Bill. Because you don't never work for Bill, you're going to be working with Bill. And you believe in the product, you believe in what can be built and created. Just imagine, man. Okay, there's this difficult time right here, the struggle, the startup, trying to open the door, trying to make sure the wheels are on tight and all that, okay? See it 2, 3, 4 years from now, when it's rolling, when Dream is as big as Pepsi.
Yeah.
Wait, see that and know that, you know what, hey, we made it happen here. We were the 12. Huh?
About how we are going to get to the 5,000 people. I think that your presence here in Colombia today is very important for us to get that number, because it's a wonderful thing to have you here in Colombia.
Man, how come you didn't invite me earlier? We could have had the 5,000. We could have been done by now. Right? What?
Well, you'll be sure you're going to get an invitation.
I will be back. I will be back.
Here you have people from different cities of Colombia. That's why we are spreading nationwide, and that's also how we're going to get to the 5,000 people.
Okay.
One last question. The bigger the dream, the bigger the obstacles you have to, or the obstacle you find in the way. In your most difficult moments, what kept you going? And what inspired you?
You know what, man? I knew that I couldn't fail. Now, does that mean I have succeeded at everything I wanted to do? No, just the big stuff. Just the stuff that I felt so passionate about. And I don't know, man. I got this thing. It's okay to fail. It's okay to fail. It's not okay to quit. You fail. You learn from it. You get up. Okay? Let's go. Let's do it again. If you're truly passionate about it. And I think, honestly, I think that's the one thing, man. Someone was asking me something earlier, and it's a question I never really think about. But something that hopefully I've passed on to my children, and something that I know they got. We don't fail. You know, if you're bad about it, we fail to learn, but we don't quit. Yeah, this thing I'm doing in South Africa, man, I keep talking about it because this is my dream. And I've had people tell me, man, forget it. You can't do that. Do you know how good it's going to feel to be able to pick up the phone and say, hey, man, guess what? I won't even call them. I'll go see them. So, hey, man, again, this could be an exciting time. I would just try to encourage every last one of you that this is what you're going to do. Do it. If you ain't going to do it, it's okay. Go do whatever it is that you want. But if you say, this is what I'm going to do, this is where I'm going, this is who I am, this could be that time in your life. A lot of folks talk it. But sometimes you get a chance to walk the walk. And ain't nobody got to dig it but you. I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way. I'm not saying that in a negative way. Ain't nobody got to dig it but you. I mean, that's why we left that Y in the spelling of happiness in the title of the film in the book. Is because that Y is there to talk about you and your happiness. Everybody in here is going to have a different definition of happiness. There's going to be a whole lot of common elements, but everybody's going to have that one little thing on it that's, well, this is what really makes me happy. That's what it's all about.